Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here. This month we're going to take a look at some Studio Series Transformers as we get ready to celebrate my channel's 5th anniversary. So our first one up is a World War II version of Bumblebee. Now of course this one in particular is a reissued figure of Bumblebee, as this one is part of the Buzzworthy Bumblebee label, as you saw by the picture there of the box. But it is exactly the same as the earlier studio release of this toy. I also want to give a shout out to my friend Scott for sending this toy to me as a nice gesture to the studio. So, Scott, thanks a lot for it. At any rate, this depicts Bumblebee from the 5th Transformers movie, The Last Night, which is the only one of the live-action movies I did not see. I even had a free pass to go see it for being a pre-registered guest at Pete's Robot Convention that year. And I still didn't go to it. When Hasbro decided that the thing that the commercials needed to show was a little girl that was a smart mouth and not Transformer mayhem, I decided Hasbro and Paramount obviously didn't want my money or my tailpipe in the theater. Note to Paramount. If you want people to see a licensed product movie, show us more of that, not mouthy little girls. At any rate, all the studio figures do come with a backdrop so that it can be used as their display stand, and it apparently is depicting a battle scene from the movie with Bumblebee attacking a Nazi stronghold. Since I didn't see the movie, I can't really comment on that, so we won't worry about it. We'll put more of our focus here on Bumblebee himself. Well, you can see how excited Bumblebee is to be here. He just fell over. That's better. It's an interesting little color for Bumblebee. It does retcon, however, some of the earlier produced materials that had been done for the Transformer live-action movie series. Since IDW Comics did, for Free Comic Book Day, the original Transformer movie came out, they did publish a prequel comic that depicted to us how Bumblebee was injured to lose his voice, but it also showed Bumblebee's arrival on Earth. And he basically arrived on Earth shortly after many of the Decepticons had arrived on Earth. This movie, however, contradicts that, stating that Bumblebee and Hot Rod were on Earth a lot longer than that. At any rate, let's take a look at the accessories World War II Bumblebee comes with. We'll start with his gun. It looks like a little mini gun with a pistol grip. 8 barrels of pure destructive power. That's what I would like to say, but it just comes off looking as something rather stupid, to be honest with you folks. But then again, this was from the Michael Bay movies, so a lot of it really doesn't need to make sense. After all, Michael Bay pretty much showed us that the only thing he cared for was big destruction, toilet humor, and as many glamour shots of women as possible. And then, of course, as the other accessory Bumblebee comes with, okay, just lay down for the moment, is this rather crude-looking hammer. It's a rather interesting accessory, but it also is used for his vehicle mode, so we'll definitely have to keep that around. The hammer on the head does swivel a bit. And I know it did rotate at some parts because I had to adjust it. Yep, there it does. It rotates also just underneath the head because I had to adjust it when I opened up mine. When I opened this toy up because I had to fix it so it was in the right configuration to fit. As I said, it looks the same except on one side it does have a hole on it. And that's for attaching it when you put him in vehicle mode. All in all, not bad for weapons, but now you know what to look for if you're looking for one loose. Now with the weapons out of the way, we can take a look at Bumblebee's articulation. His head can be turned from left to right, and he can look up a bit. It's on a small ball joint. His arm can be raised up about so far. And it does rotate at the shoulder. It does fully rotate around, even though parts of the back do get in the way. His arm can be bent at the elbow, 90 degrees. It is a bit stiff and ratcheted, so it will stay in place unless you play with it a whole lot. There is a slight swivel at the elbow as well, so it does give Bumblebee some G.I. Joe battle grip, always a plus. He does have some ability to twist at his hips. Not a whole lot, mind you, due to the way that the groin armor is set up, so it won't twist all the way. You can spread his legs apart into almost a full splits. You can bend his leg at the hip 90 degrees, and he can bend at the knee 90 degrees. So you got a lot of posing options to go with for Bumblebee here. The problem is that he's just a wee bit back heavy. Hence, that's why he keeps falling down. So that's a good thing that that stand with the cardboard backer helps keep him upright. There, now while we've got him up, let's get ready to transform him. Now, of course, you have to remove the accessories from his hands. But the first thing we're going to do is we turn him around and we're going to attach the hammer to his back. Now the hole should be, the extra plastic where the hole is should go down onto the body. So it kind of attaches like that. Then next we're going to lay him upright here. We're going to kind of wiggle these pieces here out from behind his legs to get the rear wheels moving. Excuse me a second, hear something outside. I was right, I did hear something. The mail's here. At any rate, the next thing we do is we got to fold up his feet, which will help pop these pieces free here on the back of his legs. Get the instructions back in my lap so I can read them properly. And with these out, you can swivel the wheels out so they line up with the mud guards. Just exactly like that. And then you'll realign them alongside Bumblebee's legs, and then put the legs all together, which will also include connecting his feet. Then we're going to turn Bumblebee over. We raise up his back piece. Then we got to adjust his arms a little bit so that we can get the other set of wheels cleared from the back piece. And pretty much once we've done that, we start to rotate the arms along with the wheels a bit, so that way we can also slide Bumblebee's body in a way that it allows his head to go in. There it goes. Get his head to go down. There it goes. Now it's going down. The head and the front armor should slide down just like that. And that should allow us, especially as we finagle the back piece a bit, there's a difficulty with this. There it goes. The problem is they all want to move as one unit. There we go. Get that all shifted like that, so that we can lower the wheel section down like that. Then now with the wheels firmly down, we rotate the arms so that the arms come forwards a bit. And then we're going to take his hands. The hands fold inward, like so. In you go, boys. In you go. Stay down, stay down. Rotate them at their shoulders, so that way the arms will fold inward, like this. It's a slight chore, but not too overly horrendous. But once you got the arms fully inside, you're going to come up here to the back piece. We fold out these panels, like so. Then we can fold everything down and snap it all together, making sure all the ends connect up and are aligned properly. Then once that's done, we raise up this portion briefly, because it's got to be rotated. And then we got to fold it down so that it goes in and covers everything, which I already can tell I've messed it up a bit, so excuse me. Okay, the biggest thing that we did wrong is the fact that the instructions don't really tell you the hammerhead has to be offset. When you attach it onto Bumblebee itself, get the light over here a little bit better, the hammerhead has to go on bent like that, and the stalk shifted like that. Instructions really don't make that clear, but once that's done, then it should go on a lot smoother than that. The arms are still in the way on mine, so it's not allowing it to go down all the way. Then, of course, we got a rear panel here that we didn't flip down. It just flips down. It apparently does not. No, it does. It should connect to the wheels here at the sides, like that. And then, of course, Bumblebee's little gun fits on top like that. And there we have it. Bumblebee becomes an armored car. It's an interesting look, but a bit of a pain in the butt to get him like that. I'm going to double check these instructions here. Yeah, the instructions have you put it on in the normal way. But then they have you swivel it later on. I guess I was reading it too fast. Oh, well. But now we get down to my thoughts. What do I think of this Studio Series toy? Well, for being the first one that I've actually taken out of the box and played with, this isn't the first one I've gotten, mind you. This was just the first one that I've opened. It is a bit of a chore to get him transformed, and I still don't think it looks totally right, but at any rate, it is an interesting thing to have. I will give it that much. But a lot of it also depends on your fandom of the particular movies. They say that these are made to be accurate to their on-screen counterparts. And I already know from some of the research, not all of them are all that accurate. But for this one, since I didn't see The Last Night, and I have no intention to see The Last Night, ever, I really can't compare how he looks to his on-screen counterpart. But all in all, it is an interesting toy for adult collectors. I would recommend these definitely more for the adult collector, since with the backdrop piece, these are intended more to be put on display on our shelves somewhere. In a nice curio, if you can afford one and have room for one. So that way you have a nice way to display it and keep it prominently. But again, a lot of this depends more on your opinion of the movies themselves, and I already know from a fair amount of the fandom, many of them were not happy with the movies. I enjoyed some. I certainly didn't enjoy all of them. And unfortunately for the one that we kick off with, while it is a fairly decent toy, I'm still not a fan of The Last Night. At any rate, that concludes my review of the Studio Series Bumblebee World War II version. I hope you all enjoyed it, especially me making mistakes in it. If you like the video, please drop me a thumbs up here on YouTube. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button so you can join our ranks. Make sure you ring the bell so you get notified when I post new content. I also ask that you share this video with your friends and fellow collectors. They probably deserve a good laugh too. And also share your thoughts about this version of Bumblebee, or The Last Night in general, in the comments down below. This is Sparkster1701 saying I'll catch you all later.